Alright, I'm going to do a few ABGs to kind of explain and so everybody can see like the differences and like two different ways on how to chart one. So I'm actually going to be doing the tic-tac-toe that we did in class, and I'm also going to be doing the like a number line kind of thing. It's a different way. It helps me to be able to visualize it better. Hopefully it helps somebody else. If not, I'm sure there's other people that can come up with all different kinds of ways. I know there was a couple that said they learned it a different way. So maybe reach out to other people and see if they have some pointers, anything they could help with. I'm going to start out with a metabolic acidosis partial compensation, just so that way we can get an idea of what is going on exactly. All the practice problems that I'm doing, I'm actually getting off of the ABG PowerPoint that was given to us for class. So if anybody would like to go back and try, those are actually really great to practice on. So my pH, let me start by writing all my stuff down here. I have a pH of 7.52, a CO2 of 48, and a CO3 of 36. Now what you really need to pay attention to is this right here. This is going to tell you where the problem is occurring, like what's malfunctioning, what's not really keeping up. So your CO2, I want you to think of carbon monoxide, such as the lungs, right? Because that's where it comes out at. I want you to think in the respiratory. When you see CO3, I want you to think in metabolic, because that is from your kidneys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with mine. Little number line here. I like to just take my number and then just chart it by putting like a dot. So I got 7.52. So I'm going to write my 7.52 above it so I know so I don't forget my number here. I know that my 7.52 is going to be higher than 45, so it's going to be somewhere around alkalosis. Okay, and then I'm going to find my PaCO2, which is 48. I'm going to put 48 here, so that way I know what I'm looking for. I know 48 is more than 45, so I'm going to put it on this side of my lines. And then my HCO3 is 36. And I'm going to chart it. It's more than 26, so it's going to be on this side of my line here. So I have my pH here on the alkalosis side, but I also have my HCO3, and it's on the alkalosis side as well. My HCO3 is metabolic. So I know I have metabolic alkalosis. Well, is it fully compensated, or what is it exactly? So what we're going to do is we're going to look. First off, I want you to look at your pH. Is your pH normal? My pH is not normal. If it was normal, it would be in this area here. But instead, it is on the alkalosis side. So, this is not normal. Since this pH is not normal, I know that it is not fully compensated. But what else is going on? It might not be fully compensated, but is it partially compensated? If it's partially compensated, then, for example, I have my HCO3, which is, the problem child over here, but I do have my PaCO2 that is on the acidosis side. As long as both of those are on opposite sides, you know that there's at least some type of compensation going on. Because what happens is, something's wrong with your kidney. Well, your lungs are going to kick in to compensate. But since this pH right here has not returned back to the normal, I know that it is not fully compensated just yet. It's partial. So this is going to be partial compensation. Now if I do it on the tic-tac-toe, I'm going to do my pH, which is alkalosis. It's alkaline. My PaCO2, which is acidosis. So it's going to be on the acid side. And my HCO3 is also alkalosis. So it's going to be on the alkaline side. First off, if you're doing the tic-tac-toe, you know that it's going to be alkaline because there's 2 under one word. Now this PaCO2 is all the way over here on acid, so I know that it's kicking in to do what it needs to do. But it's only partially compensated because what makes it the difference is if this pH right here, let me erase this pH, if the pH was here on normal, then I know that it is completely compensated because it has brought my pH back to the normal. But for the problem, the PaCO2 is under the acid and the pH in HCO3 is under alkaline. So that means I have alkaline, and then I have partial compensation, and the HCO3 is telling me that I have metabolic. So I've got metabolic alkalosis with partial compensation. Now remember, the partial compensation, where that comes in is, it has not brought my pH back to the normal value, but these lungs right here that is under the acid is kicking in and it's doing what it needs to do to be able to get that pH back into the normal range again.